braid ultimately casts better, but the fluorocarbon will get the job done.
Yeah, that's a good looking one. Big old dark one. All the sheen on it. That's cool looking. Yeah, looks like a better one. Yeah, oh yeah, he's chunky. You can mount that one on the fireplace. Oh yeah, that's a big old one. Yep. Sweet. Need about 30 more of those. Bullfrog. That's a crappie. Yeah. Damn. Fat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good looking one. Good old bullfrog.
All right, ladies and gents, I want to take a quick break from the action to show you what's going on out there and how I'm getting onto these fish. As always, I'll start with the rod and reel I'm using out there. This here is a 7'6" ultralight spinning rod, and I have it paired with a 1000 series reel. This is a katana spinning rod. It's a custom rod that's designed for throwing these ultralight baits like mini jigs and ball head minnows. And this is a Shimano Vanquish 1000 SSSP. Really nice setup, very expensive setup, but you don't have to have this really expensive equipment. You can get by with any ultralight spinning rod as long as it's 7'6" in length or 8 foot, and any 500 to 1000 series reel. Now, what's most important when you're trying to throw these ultralight baits like this is your casting distance. And if you got a decent sized rod and an average reel, the most important thing is your line. And what the line I have on here is Sinister Strand premium fiber braid in 4-pound. And then I run that up to a fluorocarbon leader of Sinister Strand fluorocarbon in 4-pound. If you're new to throwing mini jigs and these ball head minnows, you don't have to start out with the braid. The braid can be a little bit tough to use if you're not used to it. It takes a little bit of know-how, and there's a lot of things you got to watch out for because you can get wind knots very easily and that kind of thing. Even though the braid casts probably the best when you're throwing these light baits. But if you go with a 2 to a 4-pound fluorocarbon or even mono, you can cast some of these, like say the 1/16 ounce mini jigs or ball heads, a little bit easier to cast, and you can at least get a taste for throwing these types of baits.
Come get a taste.
And figure out if that's what you really want to do. If you get into it, then you may want to invest and start trying the braid and the fluorocarbon leaders and all that stuff. But in the interim, if you just want to try it, you know, in between bait and weight and drop shotting, throwing some jigs, you can easily get away with 2 to 4 pound fluorocarbon on any spinning reel, as long as it's, you know, 500 to 1000 series reel, and your rod is an ultralight rod, at least 7'6" in length, or up to 8 foot. Now let's go to the bench and I will show you the baits that are working out there and how I rig them up. All right, guys, going to show you real quick what we were doing out there and what was getting these crappie. And we're mainly catching them on mini jigs. We did catch a few on minnows as well, but the mini jigs really seemed to be the mainstay and what they really were hitting on. And this one was the one I was having the most success with. This is a Golden State Fishing mini jig. This one's called Bullfrog. And you see it's kind of green and got some black specks and a little bit of yellow in it. So it looks kind of frog-like, right? Really, really good color, works all over SoCal. But this one seemed to be working real well there. And here's another one that's also similar, like another green, because greens seem to be working at least well for me. This one's Hulk. And this one's just another green color with some black spots, but another one that was working really, really well. As I said, they seem to be really interested in green for the most part. Now, we were using two different type of weights for our jigs, and it just depended on how we wanted to present our baits and how long we wanted to wait for them to fall and all those other things. The bigger one is the 1/16 ounce, and the smaller one's the 1/32. And typically we use the 1/32 in shallow water and the 1/16 in deeper water, or if we get windier conditions and those kind of things. But with these two, where we were trying to get our baits as close to a brush pile that was down below us as possible, as these crappie were sitting right on top of it. So sometimes if you use the 1/32, it would work, but you would have to really time your drop, and sometimes it would take a little bit longer than other times. The wind would kick up, and that would hit the line and raise this jig, 'cause it's so light, up a little bit in the water column. And then the 1/16 would go down a lot faster, but if you weren't paying attention, you would drift right into the brush pile and get snagged. So we were kind of switching back and forth to see which one works best, and really it was kind of up to the angler. Like if you were paying attention, the 1/16 worked best. If you had a lot of time and really got the drop down, the 1/32 would work best. So it was kind of up to us as far as which one we wanted to use. I'll show you how you rig these up real quick, and there's two ways. The way I typically do it is start with the skirt end, and I'll put the eyelet into the center of the skirt first. And carefully slide the rubber of the jig over that eyelet. And this one already has a hole in it, so you can see the eyelet pops right out, and it's all set. Now, the other way to do it is called speed loading. And what you do is you start with the hook near the top on the side, because we want this eyelet to pop out right on the side where it was, right? So we go right around the side, and there's already a hole in this, so carefully insert the hook and then slide the jig rubber around the lead and pull that cap back, and there we have it, all set just like the other one. Now to change out the rubber, like say your line is tied to the eye here, you can change out the jig without damaging the jig. So you pull this cap back, exposing the lead, and then just carefully slide it out. And it pops right out, and see your jig is still good to go. And you can put another color on. You just start with the hook first, and you can change out your colors while you're still tied up. And that's all there is to it. All right, now what's going on out there? Well, we went out there to participate in the trout fishing tournament. But we couldn't get the trout to cooperate, so we ended up finding an area that had a bunch of really, really nice sized crappie, and started getting onto those. And it was funny because we caught a few, you know, and it had some fun. Went back out, you know, started searching for trout again. Found an intake out there, real nice area, you know, and we were fishing, and the more we were out there, we kind of missed catching the crappies. We kind of gave up on the trout fishing and went on back to that area and started fishing for them crappie, and it was an absolute blast. But interesting thing about those crappie is they're much different than trout. They're very structure oriented. They like getting in and around trees and bushes, submerged rocks, and can be very difficult to catch. As you can see here, the crappie were right off of these submerged trees and bushes, and we were snagging up quite a bit. And once you got into a snag, you were pretty much done for. So I must have retied, I got 100 times, you know, but it was very fun. So once you can get on them, but all we're doing is very similar principles to trout fishing. Is we're throwing out these mini jigs, and we're switching back between the 1/16th and the 1/32nd. I leaned more to the 1/16th because these crappie were sitting right on top of these brush piles that were down probably about 8 to 10 feet of water. And the 32nd was tougher to judge as far as when you were right on top of that brush pile, because if you were too high in the water column, you wouldn't get bit, unfortunately for us. You had to be right near those bushes. And the 16th seemed like I could time it a little bit better and figure out where I was, but like anything, if you aren't paying attention for a second, you'd be in the bushes and you get hung up and have to retie the whole damn rig. But all we're doing is throwing out, letting it sink, trying to get into the right zone, and doing a real slow retrieve with real light bounces, just like you would for trout. And every once in a while, we'd pick one of these nice slabs off. So it's lots and lots of fun, but can be frustrating. We were using bobbers in a jig too. Problem was, the deeper we were, the leader would have to be so long because you had to get it right on top of those brush piles. And the bite was much slower using the bobbers when we were there, so we were just using the straight jigs and doing it that way. But if you use a bobber, weighted bobber in a jig, you could definitely get it above the snags and all those trees and bushes. But the downside was the way they were holding, they weren't high enough in the water column for it to be really effective, and it was just taking too long to get bites. When I was on the shore, I picked off a couple small bass using the bobber and the jigs you can see here. But that was on the shore, so it was much shallower, and they were right in the trees, as you can see, in bushes. But really, really fun. Just be prepared. If you're gonna fish for crappie in those conditions, you're gonna get hung up a lot. So make sure you got a lot of extra baits and a lot of extra leader line, and be willing to retie a bunch to get a few fish, and you'll be just fine and have a blast, because we actually did. It was awesome, and it's not too often in Southern California you get the opportunity to catch crappie of that size. So really cool experience, even though we weren't getting on the trout like we wanted. So let's get back to the video and see what else happened out there.
Okay. That could be. Sun's high enough, bright enough. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I took the bobber off. It seems like they're closer to the bottom. Cool looking. Yeah. Yeah. Dang. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gents, there you have it. Great trip, great adventure up there at Lake Isabella. Neither of us have ever been there before, so it was really cool getting to move around the lake. Lots of different terrain out there. They have a lot of rocky areas, a lot of areas with submerged trees and debris like you saw. There's some real nice sand flats. There's huge intakes and outtakes, all kinds of different areas to fish. But it was just one of those things, you know, we couldn't really get the trout to cooperate, and ended up turning lemons into lemonade and got on those crappie and had an absolute blast. And And really that's what fishing's all about to me and Esty is just getting out there and having fun and hopefully catching some fish, and that's what we did. It wasn't what we were after, but we were plenty satisfied getting on those crappie. And we don't really keep a lot of fish, but from what I understand, crappie are really, really good eating. If you ever want to do some crappie fishing, just use the techniques that I showed you in the video. It isn't rocket science, much like the trout. You just got to deal with some structure issues, and you got to pay attention, because every time I didn't pay attention, I was retying my rigs.
Wake up, idiot!
So definitely get out there and give it a try, especially out at Isabella. That cove we were in is actually set up like I guess the folks that manage the lake, I don't know if it's Fish and Game or just the folks that manage the lake, actually bring trees and branches out into some of those coves to attract the crappie and get them in there, and boy, are they in there. So lots and lots of fun, and like I said, from what I understand, they're really, really good eating. So if you want to get out there, give it a try. We had an absolute blast doing it. And with that, if you wanted the Golden State Fishing custom baits, the katana rods, the waterland sunglasses, or any of the waders that I use on the channel and really love, there's a QR code right up here. You just click on that, it'll take you to a link tree. Has all the hyperlinks in there right for you with discount codes, some of them programmed into the hyperlink. If it's not programmed in, they are listed in the links. And if you like any of the products and make a purchase, just use those codes and you can get up to 15% off. So really, really good deal, and they're really good products, or I wouldn't use them or put them on the channel. So if you like what you saw here, please give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Any questions or comments, please leave them here. It really helps out the channel, and I like talking fishing. You can also get a hold of me on my Instagram at Spanker Outdoors and send me a DM. And I do my very best to get back to you in a timely manner. And coming up, Eastern Sierra Trout Openers, just days away. We will be up there, Esty and myself, along with almost all of the Golden State Fishing Pro staff. We're going to be fishing Gull Lake on opening day. And then we will be out at Ernie's Bait and Tackle in the June Lake Loop on Friday afternoon, evening, answering questions. So if you're up there, stop on by Ernie's and we will be there, and come say hi. And if you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll try and steer you in the right direction as far as baits and where to go and what we're going to do and all those things. So really hope to see you guys out there, and tight lines.